So we have several different questions today. Number one, I'm trying to develop my outward-facing feeling, but I keep falling into the trap of people-pleasing and feel yucky afterwards. How can I set good boundaries with myself to prevent this from happening? Okay, so if you're not used to looking after your own interest in your life, which often a lot of outward-facing feeling people are not, and if you have that, you're an INFJ in this group. What tends to happen is that you have to kind of work it gradually, so you can't go from just never doing this, always people pleasing, into never people pleasing. Okay, so that's just an unrealistic expectation of you to be able to do that. So the very first thing I want to say is happy, well done. Well done on recognizing that that's what you're doing, because recognizing it is the first step into it. You've recognized that you're a people pleaser, you've recognized that you're feeling yucky afterwards, and you recognize that you need to start setting some boundaries. So you're already like 3 steps in. So that's fantastic. The next thing that needs to happen is start entertaining the thought. So anytime you kind of try and catch yourself, or whenever you catch yourself people pleasing, start entertaining the thought and question, which goes, what's in it for me? So oftentimes what happens with people pleasers is that I'm saying we because I for sure have fallen into this category for many, many years and still do sometimes, especially if I'm stressed out. But us people pleasers, what we're actually doing by people pleasing is we're trying to hold the power. So we're trying to gain power by helping people and then expecting the help to be appreciated. Now, sometimes the help that we want to offer isn't actually what's needed by the other person. So it can become this power game. That's kind of the easiest way to describe the power game that can happen with the outward facing feeling if you don't learn to take your own needs into consideration. Okay? So whether you're aware of it, whether you're not aware of it, we have either covert or overt ways of being aggressive. So we're either actively aggressive towards people or we're passively aggressive towards people if we don't get our own needs met. So I would bet some money on the fact that if you're a people pleaser such as myself, that when you do please people and you feel yucky afterwards, it's almost like, unless you deal with the fact that you are a people pleaser and take responsibility for that, down the road at some point, that person's going to have to pay for you pleasing them. Okay, so that might sound a little bit confrontational to you, and I get it, and that's what it is. If you want to do development work and you're here in this development group to do that, this is what you need to hear as an INFJ. You, in order to be truly a person of integrity in terms of truly helping people, it has to start with you helping yourself. Because if you're not helping yourself, you are helping other people, but you will get the power back in some other way that may be overt or covert. Okay, so what I'd say to you in this case is when you kind of recognize that you've been people pleasing and you feel yucky, start thinking about in your own mind, what would I have actually done in that situation? So let's just say you're doing the people pleasing and you catch yourself that it feels yucky. At that space where you catch yourself, you go, what would I actually would have wanted? What would I have wanted from that situation? And then when you do that and you don't berate yourself for not getting it right straight away, then the next time you people please, you realize it earlier. And then you go like, what would I have wanted to get out of that situation? And you keep going like that. And the next time it's even shorter period of time, until you get to a point where you're opening your mouth to try and people please that person, and you catch yourself and you go like, hang on a second. And then you go in your own mind, what do I need to get out of this situation? And then instead of just saying, of course, I'll help you with that, you might say something like, oh, you know what? That is a big deal. And I don't feel like I'm the right person to help you with this because I don't actually have the qualifications, or I don't have the resources to help you, but I can help you find somebody who can help you. So instead of, kind of berating yourself for being a people pleaser, understand that it comes with risk, and the risk is generally, you know, a delayed payback in terms of power games with all of your relationships. So as long as you keep people pleasing others, your relationship will pay for it down the road. So just understand that, and then start thinking when you catch yourself, hey, what would I have wanted in that situation? And just recognize it and go, yeah, excellent. I'm so happy I recognize it now, even though it wasn't straight, you know, during the situation. I'm recognizing it now. And now I know that next time it'll take shorter time for me to recognize it, and shorter time and shorter time and shorter time. So you just basically, by accepting yourself and giving yourself grace, you're just shortening the amount of time that it takes for you to realize that you were people pleasing, until you hit the point when you're doing it or you're about to do it, you catch yourself and you go like, let's rephrase this. Okay, so that's how you can start setting good boundaries with yourself to prevent this from happening. Giving yourself grace, understanding what it is that needs to happen, how the process works, and then just allowing it to play out. Because remember, whatever new thing you're learning, you need to give yourself at least 30 times to do it before you can recognize that, in fact, it is working or that it's not working.